Okay, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Nevertheless Commentary. I'm your host, Stephen of Zero Sports, your favorite Ang on the net, the black Italian himself. You heard me say pronto, buonasera, buono, buongiorno. A very good morning. Now, let's get right straight to it. It's sports news. We begin with football. Uh, Sid Ramovic explained the eye-opening difference between coaching in South Africa versus coaching in Algeria. I think that's very, very interesting because there's always this debate between the South and the North. When we speak about the South, particularly it usually be South Africa, Betway Premiership, and South Africa national team, Bafana Bafana, or the Banyana Banyana, the South African national team of the ladies of South Africa. Beautiful ladies of South Africa. Now, German coach Fritz Ramovic spent 3 years at TS Galaxy in Betway Premiership, where he was roundly praised for keeping the club competitive on a shoestring budget. I remember him; he did a very, very fantastic job with the TS Galaxy with the time that he served in South Africa. He was one of the very, very smart technical coach. I respect him very, very well as a coach. Now, he took them to 2023 knockout final where they lost on penalties to Stellenbosch FC, and despite the FIFA transfer ban and endless having to sell his top players, he kept the side competitive in the league, which is correct. Ramovic, 46, left in November 2024 for a fresh challenge in Young Africans in Tanzania, and after a short stay there, was appointed as a coach on the Algerian side, CR Belouizdad, in 2025 February. He is 12 games short of being the club's longest serving coach ever, with one of those against Stellenbosch in the CAF Confederations Cup stages over the weekend. Now, we will not speak about this game for now. Now, he admits that in Algeria, or the Algerians, or in Algeria, is more tenuous, and he assesses the difference between coaching in the country and South Africa Premier Soccer League. Now, the difference is clear. That's what he says. The quality of the players, the level of competition and pressure. In Algeria, every team is very, very tough to play against. They invest a lot on expectations are extremely high. That's what he says. Now, when I coached TS Galaxy, the pressure was not the same. If you finish 5th, 6th, or even 10th, it was acceptable. The key objective there was to develop players that the club could sell. And I think we did a very good job. But winning the titles in that environment is very, very difficult because every season you lose 7 or 8 players. Unlike the clubs with big financial power, you cannot simply buy players for millions. You have to rely on the academy that brings its own challenges, but it was also a great experience and a great time for me as a coach. That's what Ramovic is saying. He continued to say, he admits basically that every game is a must-win in Algeria, and there is a little margin for error. That's what he says as far as Algeria compared to South Africa. He says at Belouizdad, it is completely different. Here you have to win. If you don't, criticism comes immediately. The coach is not good, the players are not good, changes must be made. That is the reality, he said. Well, probably because he coached TS Galaxy in South Africa and he didn't have much of a pressure. I bet he coached Orlando Pirates, he coached Kaizer Chiefs, or Mamelodi Sundowns. Then he will feel the fire and he will burn. He might have been a decent coach at TS Galaxy, but when you get to Chiefs, when you get to Pirates, when you get to Sundowns, it's a different ball game. Fine, I understand it is experience. Hello, I'm from Russia. Welcome, Night Reckle from Russia. I'm from South Africa. My name is Stephen of Zero Sports on the net. Now, he continues to say, in Algeria, the average time for the coach can be 3 to 4 months. I have been here for a year, which already makes me one of the longest serving coaches at the club. But the goal is not longevity. The goal is to win. Ramovic is hopeful he can bring a successes to the team this season, though they are a distant second in the league to Rulani Mokwena's MCLG. There's no way he's catching Rulani Mokwena. I can bet all my money on that. There's no way Ramovic is catching Rulani. And they had some kind of a squabble while they were both coaching the Betway Premiership. with Ramovic at TS Galaxy and also Coach Rulani at Mamelodi Sundowns. There was always some kind of squabble because Rulani is very, very technical sound. That is Coach Rulani Mukwen. So I don't see the CR Pelus that catching up to MCLJs this season with Coach Rulani being the coach at the MCLJ. So he must forget. He might actually start packing his bags ready to get fired because he's not going to win the league. Now, if that's the goal, the ultimate is to win the league. As he says, the goal is not the longevity, but the goal is to win. He's not going to win the league with Coach Rulani there. So he might as well just begin packing his bags and then look for the next job. Let's continue. Now, they face MCLJ in the quarterfinals of the Algeria Cup in March 3, which will be a crucial game for Ramovic. But they also topped their Confederation Cup pool ahead of Sunday's clash in Cape Town. I think they won that game against Cape Town City, not Cape Town, I think Stellenbosch FC. I think they won that game. There's some things with the Stellenbosch FC. They're still in 6 and 7, but I'm hoping that Coach Kevin Hunt will actually get things into the right place very, very soon. Now, we are still in the quarterfinals of the second cup in the league. That means expectations are high, Ramovic said. We are said we have to win something. If not, I will be replaced. That surely might happen. Some of the players will be replaced as well. Oh, that's it. And that is the pressure. But it's also the challenge. This is the level where you can win trophies. But that is why I am here. That's what he says. So basically, he is saying the Algerian Cup is actually more challenging than the South African Betway Premiership. Well, I would say simply because he coached a smaller team in South Africa. Zanele Mhlambi, Unjanisisi Mhlambi. Now, he continues to say, it's an amazing feeling to be back in this great country. He said, I spent almost 3 years here and met so many fantastic people. So returning makes me both happy and proud. It's always a pleasure to be here. But we also have a game in front of us, and our objective is clear. We want to get something out of it, and we are playing against a very good, they have a quality players and have a very, very good coach, Kevin Hunt. So once again, it will be a very difficult match. We are prepared ourselves, we prepared ourselves well, and we will try our best. Hopefully, we can come out with a positive result. Now, that's what Coach said, Ramovic of the CR Belouizdad from Algeria is saying, and actually they won that game against Stellenbosch, if I'm not mistaken, over the weekend. Now, Mamelodi Sundowns Kaizer Chiefs face a crucial CAF inter-club clashes on a pivotal weekend. I think that was over the weekend. So that's old news. And we're not here for old news. We are here for new news. We can't be speaking about something from last week. No. That has passed. Okay, now, treble shortage will see more hat-tricks in this year's Nedbank Cup. That's a question. Nedbank Cup begins on Wednesday. Sundowns is playing, and also Kaizer Chiefs is playing. So those are two games that are playing on Wednesday. Julie Perrotin, what's good? Julie Perrotin, it's been a minute since I've seen you. Julie, I hope you are having a fantastic day. I'm well, I'm good, I'm fantastic. I'm terribly doing well. That's me. Hope you do the same. Now, there are 2 hat-tricks scored in the 2025 Nedbank Cup, the most of the 9 years, including one from a defender for the first time, but they have been reasonably rare over the years, with the 27 scored in 18 editions since 2008. Now, you'll think that given the nature of the competition, with plenty of the David versus Goliath clashes, that the hat-tricks will be a regular occurrence in the Nedbank Cup, but this has not been the case. Amazulu defender Sandile Mthethwa netted a treble against the third-tier Mighty Eagles, as Lesotho won with a 5-1 in last 32 in 2025. First, Orlando Pirates also netted a hat-trick 3-1 over Ibaroka FC, ending a campaign with 4 goals, joint top goal scorer alongside Kaizer Chiefs Pule Mori. That was last season. Now, before that, there were just 3 other hat-tricks scored since 2017, addition to from Mamelodi Sundowns players. Now, Gaston Serino, who is now a Kaizer Chiefs player, back a treble for Sundowns in a 6-1 victory over the NB La Masia in 2024, while teammate Peter Shalule got a hat-trick against Marom Gallants this season before. Tashik Morris scored 3 times for Cape Town City against Bloemfontein Celtics in 2021. Apart from that, it has been a barren run for players seeking to keep the match ball. There were 2 scored. In 2016, the campaign is Bongija United from Mpumalanga Black Aces against the lower league United Rovers, and then Clet scored 4 goals against Bedford West Brushed, aside Marcus with 6 goals to 0. Now, of course, the most famous trebles came from Sundowns defeating Power Lions with 24 goals to 0. That was in 2012. And now, so Shamboke Kana scored 7 goals, and Nyachamu Sheku scored 6 goals. Both scored double hat-trick in that incredible fixture. Now, the late Richard Henyagana also got into the act of 5 goals. Gekana's house remained the most goals ever scored in a single Nedbank Cup match by a player, while his career total is 11, makes him the joint highest scorer in the competition since 2008, alongside Kemet Erasmus, behind Shalule, but Shalule behind with 14 goals. Now, Dumisani Way was also amongst the 5 goals as Amazulu thumped Young Ones 14-0 in 2008, a game in which Mkonazi also got 3. Now, Mpumalanga got a hat-trick against Amazulu, or 4 Amazulu against Black Leopards that year, and then another from Mpumalanga Black Aces versus Witbank Stars in 2011. He is the only player to score more than 1 hat-trick, the only one to score 2 for 2 teams, and only one to net in a multiple year, and that is Mpo Kamalega. Now, there were 6 hat-tricks in all in 2012 campaign, and the 3 in Mamelodi Sundowns win over Power Lions, while Lekhonono Majora scored 4 for Kaizer Chiefs against Black Leopards. Enrico Bode scored 3 for Platinum Stars against Delphine FC. David Khadebe had a treble for United versus Farados. The only hat-trick of Musanya Dama's career came when he netted 3 for Bloemfontein against University of Stellenbosch in an 8-0 win in 2014. Now, Sundowns and Amazon have managed to the most Nedbank hat-tricks since 2008, with 5 each, followed by Black Leopards, Free State Stars, Chiefs, or Kaizer Chiefs and Mpumalanga Black Aces, 2 each, with University of Pretoria, Karaga Kicks United FC, Platinum Stars, Polokwane City Celtics, Everett University, Cape Town City, and Orlando Pirates all have 1 hat-trick, with Amapagania have had their hat-trick last season. Courtesy of Tehobaso, Mabasa, the sniper, who is now loaned to Stellenbosch FC. Now, Coach Miguel Cardoso rules missed chances as Mamelodi Sundowns were defeated by Al Hilal over the weekend. Now, we all know that Mamelodi Sundowns lost a game with 2 goals to 1 against Al Hilal, and they were defeated by 2 goals to 1, which saw them being number 2 on their group log in the CAF Champions League. Now, Coach Miguel Cardoso rules missed changes as Mamelodi Sundowns were defeated by Al Hilal. Mamelodi Sundowns coach Miguel Cardoso was left to rule missed opportunities as his side slipped a 2-1 defeat to Sudanese side Al Hilal in a neutral Rwanda on Friday, putting their CAF Champions League quarterfinals qualification in doubt. I don't think it's in doubt. They have still 2 games to play. So if they win 1 and draw 1, then they're still on. That's how I see it, though. Now, the defeat leaves Sundowns on 5 points from the Group C game for now, with their fate out of their hands. Now, they hope that the former boss, Coach Rulani MCLJ, defeat St. Elo Lupopo, which he did on Sunday, to keep the Sundowns on the second play in the pool. Now, they must still go on to DR Congo to meet the latter and host MC Elja, so all uncertainty is certainly not lost. But the side has to won, or have won just 1 of their last 10 away games in the CAF Champions League, and this was another of the night for big spending South African club. Now, Looking at the game, Sundowns had a possession of 71%, and only 29% for Al Hilal on the men. 7 shot at goal for Al Hilal and 3 for Mamelodi Sundowns. 15 each attempt, and 7 corner kicks for Sundowns and 2 for Al Hilal on the men. Now we know how important it will be to control the game as much as possible, which they did. With the ball, we expected space because this is a team that presses heavily on one side of the pitch. Cardoso told reporters, our intention was to move the ball quickly on the opposite side where we could attack, stretch them, and install ourselves higher up the field. I think we started the game quite well compared to the first match of a 2-2 draw in Pretoria. We knew we would be facing a higher defensive line and a stronger pressure. So we selected players that could actually attack the space in behind. This is why we made changes in front of the areas. In the first 20 minutes, especially, we created the opportunity we had anticipated, but it wasn't to be, unfortunately. Now, there was a period where we started to play too quickly into the spaces behind the defense without proper structure. That's what Coach Miguel Cardoso is saying. That exposed us and made it harder to control the game. We gave energy to our opponents and allowed them to play the game they wanted, defending deep and then using space in transition. That's created instability for us, and they got punished. And hence, Al Hilal won with 2-1 against Sundowns on the weekend. Now, Cardoso says that while the defeat is disappointing, credit should also be given to Al Hilal, a team who can play at home due to a civil war in the country, yet constantly punch above their weight. Now, I think that's actually applaudable for Al Hilal to actually do what they did against Sundowns. So we know Sundowns is a much dominant side, a very, very aggressive side, and a very, very ball-playing team that can dominate any team that they play against. So for Al Hilal to actually succumb to that pressure and actually manage to actually sucker punch them on transition, I think that was fantastic. Now, Coach Cardoso continued to say these matches are very tricky. They have high quality, very physical players up front, strong in conduct, and our defense struggled at times against that, Cardoso says. Now, when you don't take your chances at the right moment, you suffer. That's correct. Once we had our risk and push numbers forward, then the game became open, especially in the last 15 minutes. The story of the game is simple. The opportunities we didn't score, we had 3 chances in the first half and 3 or 4 in the second half. When you don't convert those moments, you put yourself in a difficult position, and that is 100% correct. Couldn't have said it better than Coach Miguel Cardoso. He says, we created more than enough chances, at least to draw the match, but we didn't take them, and that was the difference. Now, the lineup of Sundowns, it was Leon and Matthews, with Santos coming in as a number 10. Number 6 is Debokom Kwena, playing alongside Rezinho and Allende as their number 8, and Damane, Kuliso, and Cubido were the number of central defenders, and Mudau and Sibilla as the fullbacks. Onyango was their goalkeeper. Ronza wasn't there. Maybe that was also a main difference, because if they have tall players who can actually press them high, having a player like Kuliso and Damane, which in my opinion is not very, very comfortable on the ball, and also Dennis Onyango, who's also not that comfortable on the ball as he doesn't give you what Ronan Williams gives you, it was always going to be difficult for Sundowns to actually initiate their play on the break. But I don't think that was the case, because I did not watch the game. Hard luck to the Amasandawana. They live to fight another day. They are going to DRC. They will need to win that one against the Saint Eloy Lupopo and avenge Orlando Pirates. Now, Mateta moved to AC Milan of Atletico Madrid, announced, look man, that sounds like good news. That sounds like good news. Let's check it out. Deadline day live. Okay, Mateta moved to AC Milan of Atletico Madrid, announces Ademola Lookman Now, the January transfer window has reached the deadline, so the teams around Europe are looking to finalize the last-minute deals. Our transfer tracker is here to keep you up to date with the last news, rumors, and confirmed deals. Welcome to Atletico Ademola Lookman. Now, it is confirmed. Atletico Madrid have completed the signing of Ademola Lookman from Atalanta on a long-term contract in a deal worth 35 million euros plus 5 million euros in add-ons. I think that's a good faith for the Nigerian. I think he's put on some incredible performances for the Nigerian side during the AFCON competition. He was one of the most exciting players in the competition, a deadliest player, a winger / number 10. I think it really deserved the opportunity that he's getting on the Atletico Madrid side. I'm hoping that he's going to thrive and actually rise to the occasion and help Atletico de Madrid in their quest for glory in La Liga. Now, James Wilson to Tottenham Hotspur is done. 18-year-old Scottish striker joins the Hearts on an initial loan with an option to buy. He is currently undergoing a medical. Spurs beat Arsenal in a race for the forward. Fabrizio Romano. Okay. Champions League news. Do we have anything new on Champions League news? Player of the month, Michael Olise, continues to set a high bar for Bayern or at a Bayern. Let's check that out quickly. Barcelona, Fermin Lopez agreed to some deal. We'll also check that after this one. Now, in a monthly feature, Fleshko shines the light on the best player in the world of football to see what has made them stand out for the crowd using the cutting-edge stats as well as the player rating system. Fleshko delved into the numbers to see why they are performing so well. For January, there is a clear winner, Bayern Munich's brilliant 24-year-old winger Michael Olise. Now, ever since moving to the Crystal Palace, from the Crystal Palace to the Bavarian Giants back in 2024, Olise's natural skill set has stood out, and that alone is a testament as to how good he is, given that he shares the stage with the likes of Hurricane, Luis Diaz, Yamal Musiala, Joshua Kimmich, etc., etc. It seems that he's always been destined for great things. However, earning the DFL's Young Player of the Season awards in 2021 and a place in the championship team of the season alongside Evan Toney and others, just 2 years and a month after making a senior debut with Reading. Now, during that season, his 7 goals and 12 assists in 44 league games were enough to see him join a long line of illustrious previous winners of the award, including Jude Bellingham, Oli Watkins, and Ryan Sessegnon. Now, it was also that level of consistency which earned him a move to Crystal Palace, where, alongside Eberech Eze and Mark Guerre, Olise became one of the team's most important players. Now, a star that continues to shine. Whilst at Selhurst Park, he became the youngest player in the Premier League history to provide 3 assists from an open play in a single game against Leeds United at Elland Road in a 5-1 win on April 2023. Palace manager at the time, Roy Hodgson, was one of many who were in no doubt as just how far Olise could go in the game. Now, what I make of him is that I think he's enormous talent. He has got great possibility to have a wonderful career and a wonderful future. We can only hope we at Crystal Palace can give him that platform, that Hopkins, what he said back in 2023. Now, just over a month, Olise assisted Eze in the 2-0 victory over Bournemouth to become the first Eagles ace to provide 10 assists in a single Premier League season. Hodgson Words were prophetic in that Olise is continuing to enjoy a stellar career, but Palace were never going to be able to hold on to him for so long. For the so-called big boys came calling. While it was believed that Arsenal and also Chelsea, two teams where the white man spent some of his youth career, as well as Manchester United and Newcastle were circling, it was to the Bundesliga and step up in a class at Bayern Munich that will be Olise's next career stop. Now, Michael Olise is averaging that's 37.9 minutes, a goal average at every 37.9 minutes since joining Bayern Munich from the winter break. Now, he has played 379 minutes, scored 3 goals, assisted 7 goals, and he has a rating of 8.3. I think that's very, very incredible for the young man. Now, not stopping from hitting the brick wall in terms of form, the Frenchman has flourished in Germany. In his first season alone, he's finished with Bundesliga 15 assists, topping the charts in that particular regard, ahead of Florian Wirtz and Vincenzo Grifo with 11 and 12, and others. Along with his 12 league goals, he plays in the German top flight team of the season. Therefore, wasn't without merit, nor was his Rookie of the Season award in 2024-2025. Now, in the current campaign, his partnership with Hurricane has continued to excite and produce goods, and has become a feature of the current squad forward player as they search forward towards another Bundesliga title. Bayern, first game this month against Wolfsburg, saw Olise make his 50th German top flight appearance for the club, and in true form, he turned in a 10 out of 10 man of the match performance, scoring 2 goals and providing 1 assist in an 8-1 romp. That was incredible. Now, in so doing, it gave him 21 goals and 24 assists in the league since arrival, and only Luca Toni and Ian Robben and current teammate Kane or Hurricane can boast as many goals involved for the Bavarians in their last 50 league games. What a month. An assist in the next game versus Cologne was followed up by arguably his best performance in January. Despite not coming on until the 56th minute against RB Leipzig, Olise scored 1 and provided a hat-trick of assists in an eventual 5-1 victory. It was a stunning cameo that rightly earned him another man of the match accolade and another perfect 10 rating from Flash Score. Joseph, what's good? Joseph Nzama, what's good, bro? I hope you're good. Now, the two more assists followed, one in the Champions League against Union SG with 2 goals to 0, and against Augsburg in a Bayern's first league defeat of the season, 2 goals to 1. Now, Bayern's 2 UCL games were only matches in January where he didn't score or assist after he rounded off the first month of 2026 with yet another assist in a 2-2 draw against Hamburg. Now, the world is his oyster. Now, given a high level at which Olise consistently operates, it's difficult to comprehend that he is still some years away from what is generally considered to be his peak years as a player. Now, in just 85 Bayern games in all competitions so far at the club, he has already amassed 33 goals and 43 assists, numbers that the center forward will be proud of, let alone a winger. So that's incredible. It's very, very incredible for Michael Olise. We hope the Frenchman continue to bang those goals, but I think that will prove to be troublesome going to the World Cup, because if you look at that French team, but we're yet to see what's going to happen. Now, with the pass accuracy that has never dropped below 84.2%, the world really is Olise's oyster at this point. Now, a lot of teammates and coaches only have good things to say about him, including a French international teammate, Aureliani Tchouameni. What strikes me the most about him is that everything he does seems to be easy. Real Madrid man noted, he has the nonchalant with the ball. He has this nonchalant with the ball, so when you watch him, you think, oh yes, just too easy for him. He's a great player. That's what his teammate or his countryman says. Olise himself summed everything up when he said, I'm of the opinion that as a footballer, you have to give your answers on the pitch first and foremost. And that's fantastic. Now, on another news, right out of the brother, young man Olise, on another championship news. Okay, we've spoken about Atletico Madrid signing Ademola Lookman. I think that's a fantastic deal for the Nigerian. I've said that he's been fantastic at the AFCON, and I think he deserves the opportunity. I'm hoping that he'll rise to the occasion and actually deliver at Atlanta de Madrid. Is it Atlanta or is it Atletico Madrid or Atalanta? Let me actually confirm. From Atalanta to Atletico Madrid, I believe. So let me confirm that. I had to give a proper reading of Ademola Lookman. This is a fellow African brother. So we need to be proud of Africa and African people who are doing big moves. Now, Atletico Madrid have agreed a deal with Atalanta to sign a Nigerian international Ademola Lookman. The La Liga club confirmed on Sunday the Nigerian international is already in Madrid to undergo the relevant medical examination and finalize his new contract at Atletico de Madrid, said the statement on their website. Atletico Madrid gave no details about the transfer fee or the length of the contract. The Spanish media reported that Atletico will pay 35 million euros for the forward. The 20-year-old has shown his since joining Atalanta in 2022 from Bundesliga side RB Leipzig, netting 55 goals in all competition. Now, his standout moment was a hat-trick in Atalanta's 2024 Europa League final triumph over Bayern Leverkusen. As a result, that secured the Italian club's first European trophy and ended Leverkusen's remarkable 51-match unbeaten run. Lookman's treble made him the sixth player in history to score 3 goals in a European club final and first since 1975. Now, born in London, Lookman began his professional career at Charlton Athletic in 2015, earning a move to Everton in 2017. While he scored on his Premier League debut for the Toffees, he struggled to find consistent opportunity and was loaned to RB Leipzig in 2018. Following a successful spell in Germany, Lookman made a permanent £22.5 million transfer to Leipzig in 2019. However, the first team chances proved scarce in the Bundesliga, prompting a loan to Fulham and Leicester City in the Premier League before his transformative switch to Serie A with the Atalanta. Now, undergo Diego Simon at Atletico. Lookman arrives as a key addition to bolster the side, who sits third in La Liga with 45 points, 10 behind the log leaders Barcelona. Now, Atletico Madrid will hope the Nigerian firepower can boost their campaign as they prepared for two-legged Premier League knockout playoff clash against Club Brugge later this month. We hope Ademola Lookman will actually rise up to the occasion and help Atletico Madrid in their quest for glory. It's fantastic. I think he's deserved it. He's one of the players from Nigeria who was so fantastic that I was like, he deserved a chance to actually play football for his life, and that is Ademola Lookman. Now, Bellingham ruled out of Real Madrid's playoff against Benfica after injury. I think everybody who watched the game yesterday actually saw that. Barcelona midfielder Fermin Lopez agrees contract extension till 2031. I think that's amazing. Eddie Hove conceded Newcastle United still coping with fallout from Alexander Isak's exit. Oh, I hope they recover from that because they've been a little bit shaky up front, but I'm hoping that since he sees what the problem is, he's actually going to fix that as a manager. Now, Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta downplays the title pressure ahead of the tricky Leeds trip. Now, that's old news also. That's old news. Now, to cricket. Now, Bunting and Brook combined to help England clinch T20 series against Sri Lanka. Pakistan decided to boycott T20 World Cup match against India in Colombo. Pakistan demolished Australia by 111 runs to sweep T20 series. Zampa injured. Now, I think the important story here will be the Pakistan decided to boycott the T20 World Cup match against India in Colombo. Now, let's see what's up with that. Hi, Lily. Hi, Lily. What's good? What's good, Lily? It's been a minute since I've seen you. I hope you're good. I checked you out on Instagram and you were practicing with your fellow dancers. I think that was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed those dance moves that you guys were doing there. I hope you're good. I hope you are having a fantastic time on 2026. Now, Pakistan will boycott the February 15 match against 2020 World Cup against a rival India in Colombo. The Pakistan government said on Sunday while approving the team's participation on the Gold Showpiece. I'm good. I'm fantastic, Lily. I'm fantastic. Thanks for asking. Thanks for asking. I hope you also are doing fantastic. Now, the government grants approval to Pakistan cricket team to participate in the ICC World Cup till 2026. However, the Pakistan cricket team shall not take the field in the match scheduled on the 15th of February 2026 against India. The people of the government's official X account said without elaborating on the reason behind the decision. Now, Pakistan, who are scheduled to play all their matches in Sri Lanka, will forfeit 2 points if they boycott the match against India. No clarity on what would happen should the neighbors meet in a knockout game. Bilateral cricket remains suspended between nuclear-armed neighbors who engage in a military conflict that nearly snowballed in a fully-fledged war last year. Now, their fraught political relationship prompted the government International Cricket Council to broker an arrangement allowing them to play in a neutral venue where their neighbor hosts a global tournament. The 2009 champions had earlier announced the squad for the 20-team tournament beginning on February 7, maintaining that their participation was subject to the government approval. Now, their decision to boycott the India match is a serious blow to the tournament because an India-Pakistan clash remains cricket's greatest blockbuster, which is why they are clubbed together in the same group in the ICC events. Now, the tweet says, the government of the Islamic Republic of Pakistan grants approval to the Pakistan cricket team to participate in the ICC World Cup 2026. However, the Pakistan cricket team shall not take the field in a match scheduled on the 15th of February 2026 against India. Now, the ICC said it was awaiting an official communication from the Pakistan Cricket Board conveying their position of a selective participation. Now, while the ICC respects the roles of the government in the matters of the national policy, the decision is not in the interest of the global game or the welfare of the fans worldwide, including millions of Pakistanis in Pakistani. Now, the Dubai-based body said in a statement, the ICC hopes that the Pakistan Cricket Board will consider the significant and a long-term implication for cricket in its own country, as this is likely to impact the global cricket ecosystem, which is itself a member of or a beneficiary of the same board. Now, the government body or the governing body, said a successful tournament was its priority while sounding optimistic notes. The ICC priority remains the successful delivery of the ICC Men's T20 World Cup, which should also be the responsibility of all its members, including the PBC, it said. Now, it expects the PBC to explore a mutual acceptable resolution which protects the interest of all stakeholders. Now, revealing the Vanguard Manco edition Pakistan T20 World Cup 2026 jersey unveiled. Okay, we've passed that. Now, this is not the first example of the geopolitical tension affecting the global tournament. Now, Bangladesh have been replaced by Scotland in a global showpiece following their refusal to travel to India over safety concerns. Now, the latest setbacks is a continuation of the soured India-Pakistan relations, which manifested last year's Asia Cup in Dubai. Now, India beat Pakistan 3 times in the tournament, including in the September 28 final, but they declined to shake hands with their opponents and refused to accept the trophy from Asian Cricket Council Chief Mohsin Naqvi, who is also a Pakistan Interior Minister. Namibia, the United States, and the Netherlands are also in Group A, from which 2 sides will advance to the tournament Super 8 stage. Now, I extend my best wishes to the Pakistan team for the World Cup. Naqvi, also the BBC chairman, was quoted saying on Geo television. Now, I hope the team will return with the T20 World Cup trophy. Now, with the BBC support, Bangladesh demands to shift their matches to Sri Lanka. The ICC ruled out any threats to Bangladesh players or fans in India and rejected their late demand for schedule change. Now, that's for cricket. What is the reason is why they choose to boycott the game on the 15th? It's unclear yet, but we will actually be on the lookout and actually understand why they decided to boycott the match. Now, back to South Africa, because I'm a South African and it's to end things the South African ways. Now, we will end with the ladies. Will South Africa take over hosting of the 2026 WAFCON from Morocco? Now that's the question. A great one at that. Now, a new narrative has emerged overnight suggesting that South Africa will take over hosting the 2026 Women Africa Cup of Nations from Morocco after a Deputy Minister of Sport made the claim, though the government has since backtracked on this. What sparked the Deputy Minister, Peace Mabe, to make the claim is unknown, but she said Morocco has indicated it will no longer host the tournament, and that South Africa had seized an opportunity that presented itself because we have the necessary infrastructure and support. Clearly, something is amiss. She was misquoted and made the statement in a television interview with her words crystal clear. However, the Minister of Sport, Gayton McKenzie, later released a statement saying nothing had yet been decided, seemingly backtracking on a position or possibly saving face if Mabe jumped the gun on an announcement that should not have been yet made. Now, at this stage, no formal decision has been made or taken to relocate the tournament, and Morocco remains the officially designated host for 2026 Women Africa Cup of Nations. CAF has not yet triggered any alternative hosting process, McKenzie said. South Africa has expressed its willingness to support the CAF if required. Should the alternative host arrangement for 2026 AFCON become necessary, these arrangements for the part of ongoing discussion is initiated by CAF as it's considered various contingencies in line with the Confederation's responsibility stewardship of the continental game. Now then, came a telling part, which suggests Mabe have got ahead of herself. Now, the department, with the SAFA stakeholders, will continue to engage with CAF in a structured and responsible manner. Any further announcements will be made only once all required processes have been concluded and formal decision has been taken. Now we are yet to see what's really gonna happen as far as the women AFCON is concerned. We hope they will make a decision very soon and announce what's going to happen as far as the champion or the WAFCON is concerned. I think we've covered most of the news. So what can we take is the scores. Okay, let's end it. Let's end it here. Now let's end it here. And look out for your Orlando Pirates tomorrow. Orlando Pirates is playing tomorrow against the Amazulu. I hope it's going to be a fantastic game. Orlando Pirates, they are supposed to win that game because they are a game behind. And should they win that game, they actually are going to be 3 points clear ahead of Mamelodi Sundowns and the rest of the teams. And it follows behind. So we are hoping that they will go to Durban and actually grab 3 points against Amazulu. But Amazulu also are a good side, which coach Tazwane, I think is very good. He's doing a fantastic job with Amazulu. I'm hoping that Amazulu will actually bring in a very good fight tomorrow against Orlando Pirates. But we are hoping, for the sake of the competition, that Orlando Pirates win the game tomorrow against Amazulu. Then on Wednesday, Kaizer Chiefs is playing. And also, Mamelodi Sundowns is playing on a Nedbank Cup. We will actually watch those 3 games. That's Orlando Pirates tomorrow and on Wednesday. It's either Mamelodi Sundowns or Kaizer Chiefs games, but one of those games I'd have to watch and actually cover. Thank you. I'm your host, of Seven Sports, favorite anchor on the net, the Black Italian himself. I am saying pronto piacere. Pronto piacere. Have a good night. See you again tomorrow. Be fantastic as always. I love you and I love you. Don't forget to smash that up and check out our content. We do sports analysis, especially football, in between Premiership, focusing more Orlando Pirates, Sundowns, Kaizer Chiefs. I also love Golden Arrows and Eden Sweets. So from me to you, I'm saying pronto piacere. I will see you again tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Thank you. Bye.